Hi everyone, I am Adi Redman and I'm going to be presenting the Sneak Stack Studios Capstone project proposal. So, Consolidated County Record Systems wants to expand their clientele to real estate agents. And the problem that they're having is they are getting requests for HOA contact information through manual means, so email and phone, and it's just kind of hard for them to keep track of everything. It's not very centralized, and the agents are wanting something that can work for them, that's more accessible, that can work for them offline as well as on a desktop. So the solution that I came up with was a PWA. This will help centralize all the requests, store the contact information, and allow offline access. A little bit of a background. Why am I qualified to do this project? Well, I am an undergraduate student, and through coursework as well as individual study, I have gained knowledge and experience with development of websites as well as mobile applications. And so this project allows me to apply my skills and develop a real world solution for CSRS. The project objectives are to build the web application, progressive web application, and to have secured access and store HOA contact information and provide offline access to documents. Who's this project for? So it's for CSRS, but it's really for the real estate agents that will be using the platform. Again, this is a PWA, so that means that it can work on mobile phones as well as a desktop, and it allows offline access, which is going to be super helpful to the real estate agents while they're showing a property and they need to access that information. So some of the project deliverables or the scope of the project is going to be I'm going to fully hand over all of the source code and everything to CSRS when I am done. It's going to include 6 or 7 pages. For the application, it's going to have like a submit form, the store documents page, the offline access, as well as some training videos that I'm going to be giving to them. What's not included is CIC docs or estoppel letters or anything like that. It's strictly HOA contact information. It's not going to do a payment system. The client does his own billing thing, so that's not going to be included, and anything like advanced analytics after the project timeline is done, it'll be completely handed over to them, and I won't, run it after. So the timeline, what's going on in the background? We had the planning and design phase that was already completed. The planning phase was, at the start of the semester. We just, got a client and figured out what we wanted to do for the Capstone project, and then kind of like decided what design phases we're going to do, what the client wanted, what the client needed, how I wanted it to look, and so we created some mock-ups, some wireframes, things like that, to kind of deliver that to the client. Right now we are in the development phase, and this timeline is kind of just an estimate because I don't know how long development will be since this is my first project, first super big project. But yeah, so we're just gonna build the user authentication, the request forms, the storage system, do the testing for the offline functionality and the responsiveness. And then next will be testing. So test everything more and make sure that it works after it's live, and fix any bugs and make sure everything is working good. And then we will give it to COCRS after it's done for the deployment phase, which will end May 8th because that's when everything is due. So the budget. I did some research. Most of the stuff that I'm using is for free. So I'm not exactly sure how much everything will cost, but I did some research. And this is just an estimate of how everything will be because technically I'm not charging anything. So the development is going to be $3,000. Software and tools, if I wanted some plugins or things like that to make it easier for me to code, it would cost a little bit of extra money. Hosting obviously costs. My client already has a host that he uses that we'll just put it on there. And then testing with time and other apps that I need to use for testing, it would cost some money. So I put $3,500, which I think is a pretty fair price, but again, I don't know exactly how much time is going to be spent on the project, so the actual billing versus this estimate is just for right now. Some of the tech that I'm going to be using is Visual Studio Code. It's going to be for the HTML and CSS, JavaScript, all that background stuff. Front end is going to be React. Back end is going to be Node.js. The database we'll be using, which was specifically asked by the client, is AWS Dynamo database, so that everything will be stored on there, and then Git and GitHub for code management in case anything breaks. I want to be able to fix it, and GitHub allows that, or Git and GitHub allows easy version control. At the end of everything, what's the value? So the client will get the PWA, and he'll get the system that kind of centralizes everything, and it helps everything be streamlined. And this also will attract real estate agents. What do I get out of this project? Experience. A really good full project that I've done, so full stack development project, and management skills. So I'm gonna be like completing the whole project by myself, time management, deliverables, all that stuff. So it gives me a lot. Thank you for watching my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, my name is Adia Redman. I have my email and my portfolio linked there if you want to get in touch that way. If not, you can send me a message on the Yellow Dig and I will get back to you.